Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing T Street. This morning's topic is important to me. Um, I have a kid who was in my program for a couple of years, and she's autistic, and I had to keep reminding her that that's not all of who she is. That's just one piece of her big, massive puzzle because she's immensely smart and talented, and she can sing and she can dance. And um, I sent her to the song, and I said, I want you to go and um, memorize this song. When life starts telling you who you're not, I want you to play this song for yourself. And all it really says is, it's a song by Common called "Don't Forget Who You Are." And so I always remind people to remember who you are. So today's topic, don't skip the process of remembering who you are. The first step to remembering who you are is remember where you came from. When I look back over my life, I am literally in awe of all the things where I come from, my humble beginnings, and how, I'm a poor kid from the south side of Columbus who made good, that I never ever could have dreamed the life that I live. But I don't ever forget where I came from. Who I am is rooted in where I came from, not just the geography of I grew up on the south side of Columbus, but my family roots and who I am, who both sides of my family are, and how they make up who I am and how they influenced who I am, the history of them, the legacy of them, and the experience of being Al and Teresa's daughter. My story holds clues to my strength. My stories of juvenile delinquency explain to me, even if they never explained to anyone else, why I am resilient and why resilience is a part of my DNA. That's a part of where I come from. Not just the good things in my life, but the bad things also help to shape my character. Every single thing that I've encountered makes me who I am. When you forget where you come from, you disconnect from the foundation that grounds you. But when you honor your roots, all of them, the good things and the bad things, your faith, your upbringing, all the lessons that you've learned, you stand taller because you know your source. So today, do me a favor. Just take one moment to pause and to reflect. What parts of your past remind you of your power? It's when I go and I start digging into my past that some people wish that I would never talk about. Good morning, Val. Good morning, Miss Woods. Good morning, Miss Brown. That people wish I would never talk about, that remind me who I am. When life throws hardballs at me, I'm reminded that I can do hard things. I tell kids the reason I push them and I press them for greatness is because the moment that they accomplish something that they thought that they could not, everything else becomes routine because they now know that they can do hard things. So the first thing, remember where you came from. The second thing, don't skip the process of remembering who you are by remembering what you carry. That's deep to me. What is it that you carry? You carry gifts, you carry wisdom, you carry purpose, and you carry talent that no one else can duplicate. What you have, those gifts and those talents and your purpose is unique to you. Mine are unique to me. That's why no matter how hard you try, you can't be me, and I can't be you. I love to change Dr. Seuss quips and quotes, and I said, I love who I am and I love who I be because there's nobody better at being T than me. I'm the best version of me. I'm not the best version of anybody but me. Your talents, your compassions, your creativity, even your scars, they carry all of the purpose that was in you before you were formed in your mother's womb. Don't underestimate what you carry. Don't bury your light just because you want to fit into spaces that weren't big enough to hold you in the first place. Stop shrinking because other people won't expand. I tell people I refuse to play small because you refuse to play big. We were all meant to shine and magnify the glory of God. If you don't do yours, I'm not going to not be who I'm called to be because you won't be who you're called to be. When you remember what you carry, you move different. People say, T, you have great confidence. People rarely call me arrogant because I'm humble, because I know where I came from. But they do tell me I have great confidence. When you remember what you carry, you move with confidence, you move with clarity, and you move with courage because you've got things to do and things to accomplish. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, everyone. I'm so glad that you guys are on this morning, and I hope that this is blessing you. So, the second, remember what you carry. And finally, the third thing, remember who you belong to. It's easy to get out of whack these days. When life gets confusing or it's hectic or it's chaotic or it's lonely, it's easy to forget that you belong to God. You belong to your community. You belong to your family, however that's constructed. And most importantly, other than God, you belong to a purpose that's bigger than who you are. People would make you think that life is happenstance. It's not. You are not random. You are chosen, you're crafted, and most importantly, you are called. When you know who you belong to, this is so important. You don't have to chase validation. Yeah, I remember being young and dumb. I was always looking for someone to notice me because the broken parts of me felt that if someone else didn't acknowledge me or validate me, I wasn't valid. Can I tell you, most of the people from whom we seek validation aren't valid themselves. They're looking for the same things you are, people to validate them. And sometimes when you stroke their ego looking for their validation, that is validation for them. But guess what? I'm not looking for anyone's validation but God's. When you know who you belong to, you don't chase validation. You walk in your identity. You live your life with intentionality. So, in moments when you feel lost, whisper to yourself, girl, you're not lost. You know whose you are. I remember one time I got disconnected and separated from my mom at a theme park. My parents were there and we were all there, and I got lost. But I wasn't lost. I was just disconnected for a minute because I knew who I belonged to. And when the little security guy said, "Do you know your name?" Of course I know my name. Do you know your parents' name? Yes. Who do you belong to? I said, I belong to Al and Teresa Street. But even in a bigger context, you belong to God. So in moments when you don't feel like you matter, that's the anchor that will hold you steady when you remember whose you are, not just who you are. Good morning, the C note, not just who you are, but whose you are. So today, don't forget who you are. I love that song. Don't forget who you are. Don't skip the process of remembering who you are. First, remember where you came from. Second, remember what you carry. And finally, remember who you belong to. And guess what? I'm the amazing T Street, but y'all already know there's absolutely positively nothing amazing in me that's not in each and every one of you. So today, I encourage you, don't forget who you are. Have an amazing day.